This video is brought to you by MoviePalette.com. Hey everyone, do you have a favorite movie that you would love to hang on your wall but you can't think of what scene or what poster to get? Well, now you can get the entire movie on one high quality canvas. With MoviePalette.com, you can get every scene from your favorite movie, or more specifically, the dominant color of every scene from your favorite movie in chronological order on a great high quality canvas. It also comes with a silver engraving of the title down at the bottom. It has rubber stoppers on the back to keep it from bouncing. And they have a huge catalog of what to choose from. Whether you're a horror fan, or a fan of sci-fi, Marvel, Japanese anime, Disney animation, drama, or Oscar classics, there's a movie palette for you. And right now, MoviePalette.com is having a sale for 50% off for their Halloween sale. But if you go right now, and if you enter room 15, you'll get 15% off of the movie palette of your choice. That's ROOM15 for 15% off of your movie palette. Again, this is a great value for a great piece of home decor that looks great for any film and for any film buff and anywhere in your home. You will definitely like this product. Mine is of The Shining, and I could not be happier with it. So definitely go to MoviePalette.com and enter ROOM15 for 15% off of your palette. Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, back with another review. As I continue my month of October run through of Stephen King film adaptations and anthology horror films. And I've seen a number of anthologies so far. I have a playlist. I don't remember how many are on there. I've seen a number of other ones that I haven't got to yet. I have a handful more that I've never seen. This is a contender for the worst anthology that I've ever seen. Now, the only one that comes close that I can think of, it might actually be the worst, I don't own. It's from 2010 or 11, a film called Scary or Die. Now, that's a piece of shit film. This is older. It's from 2001. This is right down there with Scary or Die. The only reason why I have this film is because I saw it back when it first came out on a rental. I thought it was terrible back then, even 21 years ago when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I haven't seen it since. And I picked this up when I was first getting all these anthologies about 2 years ago. I bought it for like $2, which is about what it's worth. I was surprised to see some of the cast because, again, I didn't remember a thing from it. So seeing some of the familiar faces kind of surprised me. There isn't much of anything for this film on the internet. I had to look at IMDb. Apparently, there's something of a cult following for this. Granted, all the reviews are from like 2003, so I don't even know if anybody talks about this film. If they do, it's just because of who's in it. It's the 2001 film Campfire Stories. Now, not to be confused with the 1997 film Campfire Tales, which I have not seen, but I have hopes it's better than this. Now, even this packaging is kind of fuzzy and almost looks like a bootleg. Yeah, it almost kind of does. But it was directed by Andrei Krakowski, if I pronounced that correctly, Rob Sia, and Jeff Mazzola. Screenplay by Rob Sia. Created by Don. Based on the comic books Campfire Stories. Now, I was curious about that because during the end credits, which apart from looking like an after-school special end credits with like the split screen credits here, it does have some comic panels from the classic Campfire Tales. And I was wondering, or Campfire Stories, if it was based on if it was real and if it was based on that, or if it was just trying to be like a creep show or a Tales from the Crypt. Even one of the stories kind of reminds me of like old Chief Woodenhead from Creepshow 2. Yes, just because it has an elderly Native American in it, but so it is based on campfire stories, and then just with that shot on video split screen with even some of the thank yous, looks like after school special with our host, the uh, the Ranger Bill character, who I guess is like the Crypt Keeper in the comics. Does like a I'm Ranger Bill, and you know, it just this movie is so low budget. You know, I don't always complain about that. Sometimes a low budget can help a film or give it charm. Not this. It says Jamie Lynn Sigler on the top. She's really just in the wraparound. Now, who's in it, giving people reason to talk about it, is in the wraparound, you have, what was his name? Josh Harto, who played Coleman Reese in The Dark Knight. He's been in some other things. And Charlie Day. Always Sunny, Charlie Day. He, actually, that's him. Young appearance by him in this. That's really, I think, the only reason why people would talk about it. Only other people I recognized was John Hensley, who was the asshole brother in the 2007 film Teeth. He was also in Hostel 3. No one else is really worth mentioning. It says music by Don Oriolo, Chris Stone, and Lance Quinn. I'm guessing that's the same Don Oriolo that did the Campfire Stories comic books. So I'm guessing it's not a classic series like Tales from the Crypt. And what really sucks is that the wraparound is the perfect setup for an anthology. I mean, I've always said I think anthologies are perfect for the month of October. You get a bunch of short stories, short and sweet. It, in a way, feels like when you're sitting around a campfire telling spooky stories, and that's the setup for this. You have these teens, it says, two friends, Josh Hardo, Charlie Day, and then Jamie Lynn Sigler. Their car has an issue. They run into her. They join up to find a phone or a tow truck. They run into Ranger Bill, who's played by David Johansen, in a very over the top. And I'm guessing he's supposed to be over the top. Like, well, I got us another story. Boys don't like it. I know he's supposed to be over the top, but. And they're sitting around the fire in the woods while they wait for the tow truck. Now, I know Campfire Tales from '97 is also the same kind of setup, just sitting around the fire, telling stories. To me, that is the perfect setup for a wraparound. The stories, however, suck. The last one is kind of interesting. The ending sucked. The first one, okay, something about there's this town where supposedly this guy would torture people, abduct and torture people. I guess these students think it's the mentally challenged groundskeeper, handyman of the school. So these four jocks just decide to beat him up, one of which is the young John Hensley. The guy does a number on John Hensley, steals his bag, so they decide to go beat him up again. And I mean, Hensley does fine. He's one of the few actors that I think does decent in this. Josh Harto and Charlie Day being the other ones. The only good thing about that story is, okay, you got Hensley and three other jocks, and they're over-the-top jocks. Loud, obnoxious. You see them get picked off by the handyman out in the woods. That's about it. You get to see meathead jocks get killed. Hensley is abducted and taken to the place from the urban legend for the guy that tortured people. That's it. The second story is you have these two guys and a girl dressed like bikers, I guess. And this is why some nods to Creepshow 2, even if it's unintentional, because the leader of these three is obsessed with his hair. Like the lead punk, if you want to call him, in Creepshow 2. They go to this diner. They're at this diner. They're kind of on the run, like natural born killers. This elderly Native American comes in. He's got a drawstring bag that lights up like Pulp Fiction. Buys a coffee. They make a remark to him. He leaves. They follow him to his trailer out in the woods. He smokes out of his peace pipe. And he sees some CGI animals, like a black wolf, a snake, and the CGI is awful. I mean, I don't know what the budget was for this, but the CGI is... Now, I could be internet hyperbolic and say that it makes Spawn and Mortal Kombat Annihilation look like Inception. I'm not a hyperbolic person. In fact, I hate hyperbole. It makes the worst example look like the best example. No. But it's Spawn level bad. It's so bad that the CGI even brings out the green screen behind him, which I don't understand why they need a green screen. Because after he hits the peace pipe, there's like this upward angle of him with the night sky and the moon, which is green screen, and you can kind of see the white glow around him that's like animated around him. He's already outside. I don't know why you need a green screen. Maybe because of the moon. I don't know. But they come up. They kill him. They go in his trailer. They smoke out of the pipe. They start tripping out. Like, with more CGI. Like, the girl sees her toes turning into snakes. The one fat friend, he has like this high-pitched cackle that is as bad as some of like the fat soldiers in Day of the Dead. So that even when the scenes transition, you just get that cackle. And so they're all tripping badly. And of course, the fat friend is talking like Tommy Chong or something. Like you just gotta be one with your oneness, dude. It's annoying, poorly acted. Even the one that's obsessed with his hair is like a dollar store Jake Busey, who even after they kill him, he's like, "Hey, let's go see what he's got in the trailer." Just there's a way to take B-movie over the top acting and make it charming and make it worse, or charming and make it better, good or effective in a good way, and then there's just bad over the top acting. If they're going for like B-movie anthology with bad acting, it doesn't work. The only one I can buy it from is David Johansen as Ranger Bill, but even then it's kind of cringy. So while they're tripping, they decide to bury the body, and I guess the curse that's been put on them is that they turn old. They age like crazy. We see this because dollar store Jake Busey sees his hair's falling out. He gets all upset. And it ends back at the diner. The three of them are all really old. Native American comes back in and he's super young. Winks at the camera. And then the final story, which is longer and actually feels like a story, even though it's still not very good. You have these two couples. One of what the girls like live together. It's the grandmother's house of one of them, and she's creeped out to be in the house. The friend like had a roommate that disappeared, but that storyline goes nowhere. It's basically a whodunit because the main one, uh, Melissa, she thinks she's being watched by someone. That someone's around the property. The friend Beatrice, which we get the idea that she's overprotective and hates men, everyone she dates, and she's dating dollar store Stephen Baldwin. And so they decide to humiliate their boyfriends by trying to lure them into being like they're going to be sexy and have an orgy or group activity, and then they want to humiliate them. But there's a killer in the midst. That's it. And I will say, okay, it kind of plays on your expectations, like the killer's going to be, because there's also this like dumb deputy, like they're trying to bring back Last House on the Left or something, or Halloween 5, which is a direct ripoff of Last House on the Left with the dumb cop, but he's like sitcom dumb, like Sanford and Son dumb. And the acting here is still it's probably the most passable, but the ending didn't really make sense because I think we're supposed to believe that Beatrice is the killer because they're playing Truth or Dare. Do you know what happened to your roommate? I killed her and I cut her up like I'm gonna do to you. Doing like that a bitchy white girl, like, yeah, to you. And okay, we get to see the kills through like a handheld because she's filming it because her boyfriend secretly filmed them having sex. So now this whole movie, it's not all shot on video. I mean, some of it looks very shot on video, but even shot on video in 2001 was better than it was in the 90s. So it kind of has this, isn't that weird no man's land between shot on video and just super ultra low budget with quality cameras. Sometimes it looks shot on shitio, but the whole thing is just terribly shot. And then the wraparound, they leave, the tow truck comes, they get dropped off at this club where the Misfits are playing. I actually look, according to IMDb, it is the band The Misfits. I was surprised by that. They think they see Pamela Anderson, which I don't know if that was really her. I didn't see her on IMDb. And the twist is they start getting sketched out by the Misfits. So they go to the bar. Bartender turns around and in a huge, cartoony, like, mullet, like Elvis, but a mullet wig is Ranger Bill. And then they turn around and all the characters from the stories are there. And they attack them in slow motion. And then, Jamie Lynn Sigler sees this, runs outside, flags someone down, and then the other twist. Oh, my car broke down. Can I get a ride? And then she looks at the camera, CGI red eyes, winks. And it was cool to see the comic panels, but it looked like something from like a PBS show end credits. There are some gags, like in the third story when the two couples are sitting around drinking and the lead girl takes a sip of tequila, the cap is still on it. Maybe they put Jamie Lynn Sigler's name on it because she was in The Sopranos. I don't know. That is why I recognize him. David Johansen as Ranger Bill. Now, some people... I just gotta double check that because I did not read the back of this. I gotta make sure that's exactly who I'm thinking of. Uh, why doesn't it just tell me? Now, and internet gives out. Buster Poindexter. They're gonna get it hot, hot, hot. Now, the reason why I say they must be, the filmmakers must be punk fans, is because not only do they have the Misfits, but David Johansen was also the singer for the New York Dolls. So, yeah, he yes. So, and it's funny how he went from New York Dolls to go get it hot, hot, hot. That's why he looks so familiar. Okay. And yeah, the CGI gags, the it tries to be a little flashy, like with slow motion, like the third story when the friend gets hit in the head with the fire poker. It literally just looks like a bunk, but slow motion. This is definitely one of the worst anthologies I've ever seen. I don't know if it's worse than Scary or Die. It's almost as bad. That movie's completely forgettable. The only reason why I saw this back then was because, you know, my parents always took us to the video store. My mom had a knack for just picking up random movies, a lot of them bad, and we always made jokes about her renting Campfire Stories and Hangman's Curse back 2001, 2003. So, yeah, she rented this back in '01. That's when I saw it. 21 years later, I see it again, and I think it's just as bad. Is why it was that forgettable. And to me, the biggest kick to the nuts is the fact that they even fuck up the wraparound. Okay, having all the characters come out, cool idea, I guess. But okay, having a set at this club with the Misfits, okay, that's cool. It feels out of place. I mean, this should have been the easiest wraparound that they could have done. Just campfire stories. There you go. In my opinion, is the essential way to do an anthology. But also, the stories sucked. The first one is just okay. They fuck with this guy. Turns out he's part of this urban legend. A guy that tortured and killed people. Second story is like a sort of the Tales from the Crypt morality or sort of revenge tale. And then the third one is just kind of a disjointed whodunit. And you would think I did like the whodunit the most, but the ending of it is the killer was Melissa the whole time. You're supposed to believe that it was the deputy, or that it was her friend, or maybe the ghost of the grandmother, because they keep bringing up how the grandmother, you know, that's why she's afraid of the house. It's Melissa herself. There's all these notes in lipstick and blood. I love to watch you. She's saying it to herself. And then, yeah, her voice is layered at the end. I don't know what they were trying to go for. But yeah, the stories are super lame. Bad acting all around. Save for Charlie Day, Josh Harto, and I'll say John Hensley. Uh, David Johansen did fine if being as over the top as possible was his direction. But I really don't see an anthology being worse than this. Now, I do remember really disliking VHS the first time I saw it. VHS is on Hulu. Maybe I'll get to those. Everyone loves VHS for some fucking reason. But, I don't know. As of now, it's the worst one I own. That much I could say. But yeah, that's Campfire Stories. uh, I didn't want this video to be that long, but anyway. Stay tuned for better anthologies throughout the rest of October, and thank you for watching.